Well, happy Wednesday evening to you. Chris Hare here, the world champion crypto cowboy, bringing you another nightly Bitcoin update, just like we do every single night. But I am a world champion rodeo cowboy in the team roping and the mounted shooting events, and I'm taking the discipline and the strategies that I've used in the arena to win those world titles, bringing them right here to the crypto desk. Going to make you guys world champion crypto traders. But we're going to take a look at Bitcoin tonight. We've had a little bit of a move up. We kind of talked about this last night. I thought if we didn't move up last night, we'd probably move up tonight. But how far are we going? Is this it? Or is this just a little fake out? And are we headed back down? Well, we're going to break all that down in the charts tonight. We're going to get to it right away. We'll start off with the crypto fear and greed index. Currently at a 10, was at a 16 or a 14 earlier this week. And now we're falling back down with the big pullback that we've had. Everybody is scared to death. This chart measures market sentiment. It tells us if people are scared or if they're euphoric, and right now everybody's scared to death. But what I like to use it as is a little place to make small spot purchases. Even if we're in a bear market, guys, we may stay in extreme fear for a while. But every time we get in these lower numbers, I go ahead and add a little bit to a spot bag, and then I just forget about it. When these get into greed, I sell them off. And it's worked pretty well for me in the past, so we're going to do it again this time. We'll go ahead and check out a BitUnex exchange. I'll kind of show you what I did. I've already added to an ETH and Solana. We're up. I added another $25. So total, there's about $80 and $79 respectively. Bought some Bitcoin last night because you should just buy Bitcoin under 100,000, or I will anyway. What you do is up to you. But we're already up in profit on it, 0.5%. I think that's short-lived, but we'll see what happens in the next day or two. If you need an exchange to trade on, go ahead and check out BitUnex. You'll find a link to that in my description. Get you a first-time deposit bonus along with better fees on your trading. And, of course, no KYC. All right, guys, let's get into the meat potatoes of what's going on. We're headed to the Bitcoin liquidation map. This is what market makers use to track liquidity. They draw the charts, they move the charts, and they do it by chasing your liquidity points. Everything above price action is a short trade. Everything below price action is a long trade. And you can see there's a really bright pocket of liquidity right here, about $98,000. But cumulatively, we've got $3.8 billion worth of longs, shorts to the top side, and about $600 million worth of shorts to the longs to the bottom side. So there's clearly an imbalance. That big pocket of liquidity up there is extremely suspect. But we'll get into the charts. We'll figure out what exactly is going on. We'll start off with the 1 hour tonight. I post all these charts in the crypto school, threw out some signals today. They probably worked pretty well. Not probably, they did work pretty well. We made some good profit. We made the short that we talked about last night on Bitcoin from up here at about 93,000 down to about 88,000. So it was a pretty good trade. But what you can see now, I told you last night, if we don't come up and break out of this, we're going to reject and we're going to come down and put in a lower low. And that's exactly what we did. The question is now, we're getting rejected off of that 50 smooth moving average. Again, that takes 50 of these candles, puts a fluid line on the chart, works as excellent support and resistance. We're getting rejected off of it now, but the 50 simple moving average is sitting right below us, right around 91,468. And then you have the golden zone from 90 to 91,000. We have a little bit of support here. If we can hold this, I think we're going to start working our way up. If we lose this, I think we're headed back down to fill out this extension. 87,000 to 86,000. There was a head and shoulders here. We only filled out about half of it. And then we made our run up, but that's okay. So the question is, do we bounce here? Do we go lower? If we bounce here, you're looking at 92 to 94,000. If you can consolidate and move up out of that, 98,000 to 101. Your weekly 50 simple moving average sits at about 102.9. That's kind of where I think that we're probably going to want to reject. But we'll get into a 4-hour chart. It's going to show us a little more on what my thinking is behind that. I went ahead and left the retracements on for now. You can see we nearly filled out that whole 4-hour extension. That's kind of what I said. I didn't really think we'd go down to this lower box, and we did not. But I feel like this move may be corrective. This may be a WXY. If you follow Elliott wave theory, that's going to top us out somewhere around $98,000, $99,000 right on this 50 smooth moving average. If we reject there, it gets ugly again. We're going to go to the downside, and I'm going to have to pull a new fib. If we can consolidate above this, $100 to 103.4 is our next target. If we can get over this weekly 50, especially before Sunday, we are bullish, guys, and then I think we head up. Next stop would be the daily 50 smooth moving average right around 107.7. Then we're headed up to the extensions 112 to 119. If we reject on this, it's going to get ugly. The daily chart's going to show you just a little bit more of what that ugly looks like. You can see I left smart money concepts on. My concern is this fair value gap sitting at about 97.5. That's right in the middle of it, just like we talked about on the 4-hour chart. That's my hesitation, and that's my concern about where we reject and go lower. If we go lower, it gets ugly. You've got a block right at about 72,000. That's going to be your weekly fair value gap. And then we have to talk about bear market lows, 60,000 to 42,000. Hopefully that's not where we're headed. Moving up though, we break through this fair value gap here, head on up. Next stop would be the weekly 50 smooth moving average. If we reject there, like I said, we're headed down. We could do a retest and then work our way up off of that. But ideally, we need to get over this daily 50 smooth moving average at 108.1. Then we can think about 113 to 119 on up to 135 to 146. But there is a lot of resistance to get there. Moving out to the weekly chart, you can kind of see what I think we're going on is we're finishing up a wave 3. There should be some kind of move up coming right here. How long it lasts is yet to be determined. I think somewhere around the weekly to the daily 50 is where that happens. Like I said, we've talked about that 95,000, but you could come down and retest and then work your way back up. If we lose 85.9, we're in trouble, guys. I think you're looking at about 77,000, and then we know where our lower targets than that are. That gives you a pretty good idea of what's going on Bitcoin tonight and for the next day or two. Kind of dismal. There's a little bit of hope if we can get some traction and find some support and keep building on it. These things take time. After these big dumps, it takes time to build in structure, so I'm not in a hurry to jump in any longs here. I want to make sure that we're on the right path before we do that. This retest that we're about to have after this rejection on the 50 smooth moving average is going to tell us a lot of what's going on. So we'll keep up to date with it. I'll post some shorts tomorrow if the need arises. Don't forget to check out all those links in my description. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe on this video. And leave us a comment. Like I said, it helps the YouTube algorithm and it helps us reach more people. But I'm going to wrap it up tonight. Get in the house. I've had a long day and I'm ready to go to bed. Chris Hare, the world champion crypto cowboy. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you down the road.